feel about this?
Dalton, we can't hear you.
He might have to reset. Oh.
I said I be over here Bob Marley and just chilling back listening to y'all. I'm like, what the fuck is it?
I told you, you should have knew, Dalton. I don't fucking play, bro. I told people from the beginning, don't fuck with me.
As you should, though, because it doesn't make you a snitch if someone's threatening your safety.
Not at all. They just told me I kind of had to stay back and stay out of it because it was like look bad if, I mean, collect evidence obviously, but it just looks bad if
The cop said I had plenty enough evidence. I just gotta wait the time out.
yeah, no,
The cop said I had plenty enough evidence. I just gotta wait the time out.
yeah, no, yeah. I mean, I have a lot of questions. They already pinged the number of who called.
Do what, Sky?
When the cops,
Do what, Sky? Girl.
when the cops pull up, the cops pull up to my house tomorrow, I'm thinking they're gonna say the same thing that they said to Kilo, cause I don't know, but I live in Canada.
You live in a different state.
I think it might be different because I live in Canada, so.
Yeah, you live in Canada is way, way, way more stricter on it.
Yeah,
Way, way, way more stricter on it.
yeah,
And he couldn't file charges right now is because it would have to go federal, like it would have to go across state lines, to do anything. But if it happens within within like 60 days, then I could, yeah.
yeah.
Unless there's a threat.
Threatening me, so, and my sister, so I think it might be different, but I'll see tomorrow.
I can only go with what Sky said about getting a cease and desist.
I already know I'm gonna have to go to another state. We're already at that point. We're already gonna know we have to go because at this point they're saying that we're gonna have to press charges in another state. Like, you know what I mean? We're already pressing the charges, but we're gonna have to go to across state lines because she's in another state.
Do what you gotta do, Bookie Butt. I'm an advocate. Don't let these motherfuckers push y'all around.
Hell no. Well, no, and it's at this point it's two different people that we're pressing charges on. It's because I'm pressing charges on the person because they pinged the number of who called and falsely accused me, and I'm pressing charges on, obviously we all know.
Yeah, it'll be different for Nia because her sister was affected. Her sister would have to also speak up. So it's a lot different for Nia's situation. Me, it's just me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was like, I told the officer, I said, sir, they're bringing up people's deceased. There's already a no contact order, and people are trying to message me third party. And he was like, well, hold on there. And I was like, yes, sir, what can I do about it? He was like, you and Dalton, because I told him, I said, my friend Dalton online has a no contact order, and said person is trying to message me, and he's like, well, you have one or two options. Block it and get rid of it, or if you and Dalton want to pursue further, that's what's the word he used? like basically breaking a breach of no contact.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. He was like, you can press further if you want to, but that would be between me and Dalton, and honestly, I don't think Dalton wants to deal with it. So
Yeah. No, I'm glad that you advocated this whole way through. I'm just, yo.
If Dalton that has, I do have the no contact order, then messaging you wouldn't be illegal. Wait, what?
What?
No contact against them too. Oh yeah, like I have a no contact with one person and he can't contact me. Like he can't message me. So like if she had that, then yes, it would be illegal if she had that on them. But
it's third. He said it's third party.
now
Like,
what you can do, Kilo, I'm gonna tell you this. Okay, so when I was in agency, I learned a lot about cease and desist, and now it is a civil matter. But let me explain to you how you can use this to your benefit too, though. So if you go and file for a cease and desist, you don't have to have that with 60 days. You can do that tomorrow, actually. You go down to your courthouse and explain to them what's going on and that you want to get one, and that they will, because you have her stuff, that's all you need to file it to send it. Once then, if she breaks it, you can go back then under the 60 days and you can actually file for the harassment, because then she broke the cease and desist, which is the no contact to talk about all of that, because it is still a contract that's written up. So that is a paper trail that you can start your paper trail with the harassment and so forth. And being she lives in the same state with you, that's all you've got to really do. It's not that hard as people think that it is to get cease and desist and take it further from there. Now, if you're trying to take it to a legal matter, it's going to be civil, because that is a civil matter. But if it gets that harassment point, you can actually go and have it pushed to courts.
the problem I'm facing is said person isn't in my state. They live 5.5 hours away from me.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's
I just read that even if I report and they live in the U.S., things can still happen. So
Yeah, it's just so my thing is, since right now it's not local, they have to wait that statute.
yeah,
That's
not
what
if
I'm hearing.
not if you go get the cease and desist. No, they don't have to wait 60 days. That's only if you're pushing for straight harassment. If you get a cease and desist and she breaks that order, it automatically goes to court.
I'm
Because
pressing for harassment and terroristic threatening.
because what you can do is, even though it's a coin reporter, you can tell them that you need a coin reporter or a lawyer, and that'll take into a civil matter, and then it'll push through. And then if you win, you can, which you want to pay for a coin reporter, but if you win, that's also paperwork. So that shows one case right there that you can bring back if she continues to go after court too.
Yeah, I told the deputy tonight, I said I want to press for terroristic harassment and terroristic threatening, because she's like, I'm 5.5 hours away. What's up?
Now, Kilo, I'm gonna give you some advice though. What you're doing right now, you gotta stop if you're gonna do this. You gotta let it go and just be quiet and just roll with it. That's why.
Yeah, that's what he told me too. He's like,
I mean,
if you're up in the panel and it's being shown, he
yeah,
said
with my
if you're up and alive and then it's being shown, do not react, do not retaliate. That's what he said.
I'm
Okay.
just suggesting you, and I'm gonna give you my best advice is how I have set back. Now they can say last year that we went neck to neck. Okay, that's last year. When the court sees from December till now that I haven't started with them or bothered them, and then I can prove that they started, especially with went and involved themselves with Jeremy and Faith when they went live and all of the things that they did, they're going to see that I left them alone, and that yes, last year was bad, but they're also going to see who is keeping going, and that it is turning into a harassment thing now, that it's not just a nitpick back and forth. So I'm not going to put up I'm not going to put up pictures. I'm not going to do any of that stuff that's going to cause malicious intent on my part, because I know that's what they want, so they can try to use that against me, and they can't get that. So every time they put my deceased up, they put my grandmother, all that, that's just another mark that's going to show in court, hey, I tried. They're not stopping. I have several live streams where you can witness yourself, because when you go to court, just like when I went to court, it's not just one clip. You do know that you literally get a chip drive, and it's one of them flash drives that you get to put in your computer, and you transfer all of it over. That's how me and my wife did it. And we had hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of stuff that literally, I know there's harassment again. Like I said, it's just going to continue, and they can keep harassing. That's fine. Let them. But they will take it all, and they will watch it, and they want you to send it usually when you go to court. Like when I went, okay, so when I filed back because they lied and all of that with the court, they sent me a thing. It was 3 weeks before that was like, you have to get your stuff in by this certain date so they can verify it. So they'll ask you, Kilo, like 2 weeks prior to send in all your stuff that you have so they can verify it, watch it, and all of that. They'll actually review it and see what happened. It's not hard. It's really not. And if you need, like, honestly, Kilo, I'm going to tell you the truth, because I just went to court with somebody on here. I can tell you exactly what's going to happen, because most of the time when you're in different states, it's a Zoom call, and I can tell you exactly what behind. And Kilo, you can go down to your courthouse and you can request for your safety measures, because you feel it won't stop. You can request to record the Zoom call while you're there. They try to say it's illegal. It's not. I have proof on that. You can request it as long as they give you permission. You can record. So get your permission of the recording. All you gotta do is ask for it. They do grant it most of the time. So ask for your recording of that. Keep that recording, all of that. And honestly, I would go down. See, we have a place called SOS here that helps us with things like that. I would go down to a place that helps you with like pushing certain harassment stance and ROs and stuff like that if you need. And then being that you live in the same state and she threatens you, you can get a PO, which is a protection
We
order.
don't live in the same state. That's why that's what I was saying, because so to cross state lines, our statute here in my state is 60 days.
Yeah, but you're not crossing state lines, honey. Okay, when you go to court with people like that, when you have a RO on them or anything like that, you do Zoom, and you do it from state to state.
What the fuck is Desi?
She's gone. We blocked her. Yeah, we didn't live in that state. We didn't have to travel. We didn't have to leave nothing. They do it from your state to state with Zoom.
Okay, because the deputy, because I wanted to.
Yeah, they will tell you what they can tell you, but I'm going to tell you, Kilo, it is their law. They can't give you information, okay? I'm going to tell you, you have to look that up yourself. No lawyer that you're not hiring can give you information. No doctors can give you information like that. Like, you have to find your own out. So they can only tell you so much what they understand on their parts of the law, but that is if you're pushing for harassment. See, I'm giving you advice how to get around where you can push it all at once, and you don't have to wait so long between each one. Get your cease and desist started. That's immediate action that you can take, and that will push, if she breaks that, immediately action to the point where you can go to court. And you can request, if you can't afford a lawyer, you can request a court-appointed one, and it's a civil matter. So you will be fighting civilly. So you've got to watch what you do now too. Now they're going to show what you said too, and it's going to be at first a nitpick, but from this time till you go to court, you need to have it where you're not just saying their name no more. You know, you don't mention that you have their stuff no more, like things like that. That's criminating, and that's getting yourself in trouble. So if they don't want to stop, then do what you've got to do to protect yourself. And I'm going to be real there. Do what you got to do, because it does not matter if it's the internet or what. If you're still breaking the laws of the United States, that still matters. It does not matter if you think it's freedom of speech. When you are causing harm to someone, you can actually take force to it. But you got to be the better one. You got to sit back and you got to do things quietly. You really do.
I did earlier, did I not?
Yeah, but you can't just slip up an hour and a half later, either 3 hours later, because you're mad at that moment. I'm just telling you the truth.
I'm gonna keep myself on mute when it's my name's mentioned, or
Yeah, that's the way to do it. That's why you see me. Like, the other day I had my little nitpicks back, but it was literally just responding of like, you're not gonna put that on me. You know, that's not okay. That's okay to respond like that if somebody's putting something on you, but if you're starting a case and you're actually pushing something, you got to stop. And that's why there's certain ones that I won't speak on because there is stuff already put out there. And if I want to push it, I will. But yes, lawyers cost money if you're just going to civil matters. But when it comes to children, I'm going to tell you this right now. Oregon state laws does not play about children. And they do have places I can go to and they will pay for every bit of it. So if you keep messing with my kids, then we can go to court. We can go back and forth and say this person did this, and this. But I'm going to prove I stopped myself and got off the app and that y'all came back. And I'm going to show the first recording live that I have of y'all with the day of Jeremy and Faith coming back and how Riza said, well, he's not going to stop. I guess I got to start my stuff back up too. So we'll just, y'all say, show it here. I don't need to. I will just show it to my lawyer. I will take it to court. I will show it where it needs to be placed, not TikTok where it can just keep going.
I already spoken to my lawyer. He told me just to remain silent, so.
Well, I actually have one, and they say that I don't, but I do. I put money down for one, and anytime I need to, if I go down right now and say, hey, I need to take this, I've got a case ready. But it's the point that I was
Yeah,
not
pay the retainment fee. I do the same thing.
Kilo, I'm gonna tell you the difference between me and you, though, honey. You say we do the same thing. No, we don't. Okay, because I'm willing not to go to court because it does cause a hassle in people's lives. But I will go to court if it doesn't stop, and I don't want that to happen. But I am that one now. I'm done because it should have stayed in 2024. And I'm gonna tell you right now, the false jackets that they're putting on me and the things that they're doing to my kids is all the evidence I need. And I'm gonna tell you right now, that's all the evidence I need right now.
I understand.
Yeah. But do what you gotta do, honey. I mean, for real. You'll get there.
It's just one of those things that I am gonna take your advice, and I'm just gonna remain silent. Like
You
they
got to.
say, anything that you can and say will be used against you in the court of law. So I'm gonna stand by my Miranda rights.
Well, it can, though, Kilo. Let me explain this to you. If you slip up and you say something back that is just as bad, the court's not going to look at, oh, it was just one sided, that they're just keeping it going, you're responding. They're going to see it's a nitpick for nitpick. So if you're not responding, you're not having that response there, and they're going to see that. It does not matter if you waited hours, and they finally see one little comment. They're going to see that you actually tried. You told them to leave you alone. Just record that. If they come in your live and they say stuff to you, or they dox you or do things, just record it. Don't respond. Just delete it and let them do what they've got to do. But you guys, for me, good night, Amy. I'm not gonna watch them no more. And because if I have to take it legal, I will. And I'm gonna show the lawyer that I've tried to stop. I'm gonna show the judge that it's gone on too long. So I'm not going to speak on them more. If they want to keep going and they want to put this stuff out here, that's fine. You choose to do your battles. So now let's talk about something different. Let's change every subject. Okay, we're done talking about that. So what did y'all do for Mother's Day today?
I didn't get to see my mom today because she went to Spain today, actually.
Dang, ooh, though, that's fancy though.
Yeah, she went to Spain.
Hey, hey.
She went with her friends, so she went today.
My mom was asleep all day.
Oh shit, you love. Should have went in there beside her and be like, Mom, 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 Mom.
Be like, Mom, wake up! It's Mother's Day. Like,
I mean, I woke up. I gave her roses today.
Oh
And
Lord
I
Grace, I'm so sorry. Even though I'm gonna say this to you guys, I don't know the personal feeling, but I know how hard it is to lose someone that I feel as close as my parents. I'm so sorry for your losses, but I still hope you had like somewhat of a day. Like I hope you ate, maybe, seen some other family members. If not, then did something. And if you didn't do it, at least just nothing but sit on your ass and watch TV. Hey, it's something. I'm so sorry, guys. I want to say, one comment that I feel is really grand for all of us in here. No matter what you go through, and no matter what challenges you face, there is some good that will come from it. And I know sometimes you feel that it will never get there, but it takes time. It does. And you ever seen the movie Little Nicky?
No,
Okay.
but I think we should have a movie night.
Okay, well, maybe we'll do that one night. And I'm going to say this, okay? Smack life with a shovel. Okay? Smack life with a shovel. And you will understand that if you've ever seen Little Nicky. So, okay? Just take life with a grain of salt sometimes. And then when you have the better days, the good days, make it the best. You know, you gotta make memories. You gotta remember what's important through all of it. And that you're still here.
I have to find that replay, Dalton. I've been thinking about it all day of when I was asleep.
I got it. I can show you it.
Show me it.
Okay, hold on. I got you. Let me go back to my other account, my real account. It's not my fake ones to watch people. Um, let's see. You got me as a model on 3. It'd be in that one too. Alright. Live recording from Kilo right here.
Oh God, y'all! I want to see this because I do not remember it.
Wait, this is the wrong one. Hold on. That's the wrong one because you fell asleep on that one. Is this it? No, that's Savages. Live recording from Kilo 4 hours ago. Live recording from Kilo 8 hours ago. 9 hours ago. 11 hours ago. Motherfucker. 21 hours ago. Was it 21 hours ago? Hold on, let me look.
Yeah, because it would be because I worked at 15.
Oh yeah, because here's your green screen. An hour and 7 minutes. Let's see if this is where I came in. Hold on. Hold on. It is! Here it is! Here it is! Holy shit, I got the whole live. Here.
I want to see this shit. I've been trying to find it all
No,
day.
she sent me the fucking replays, y'all. It ain't my fault. I get every one of her replays. Okay. So we gonna come in like the 7-minute mark. She gonna fall asleep within 3 minutes, y'all. And you gonna see us come up. And listen, the first thing she says, I said what I said.
I gotta hear this.
You gotta hear this shit. It's so funny. Like, I'm gonna leave it. Look, we gonna listen all the way up until like when we come in at 8 minutes or 9 minutes. I know we're right there in it though. It's the greatest thing. Like, you literally passed the hell out. Alright. I gotta go by a little bit because you passed out. Hold on. Oh, too far. Come on. There we go. Okay. I'm at this point snapping them. Come in so I can let you up. Like, it's great, y'all. And when you hear us, seriously, she's gonna be like, I said what I said. Should be any minute. Because we're there at the 12-minute mark, and it's at 10 minutes right now. See, I could not have spent 10 minutes listening to you sleep, Kilo. Okay? I tried my best to wake you up in the comments for 10 minutes. It didn't work.
I'm sorry.
Okay, you'll see us come up first before you speak, so. We're about to come up, y'all. How you gonna go over here and be like, I'm trying to give people a voice, but you done fell the fuck asleep on us? And you was asleep for an hour on live. Who was the first one up? I can't remember last night. Yeah, if you're just coming in, we watching Kilo sleep stream. She about to like go off on us, be like, I said what I said for no reason. It's gonna happen because we're there at the 12-minute mark, and we're at 11 minutes and 33 seconds right now. So
It's last night.
yes,
Kilo.
Don't even remember what I was dreaming about. I'm not
you
going.
was dreaming about us because you said I said what I said. You had a fight in your dreams. There we go.
Hello? Kilo. Trying to wake up.
Kilo. Kilo, you sleep went live.
She fell asleep.
Yes, and then hit the live button, and she's sleeping right now. Kilo.
Kilo, get up!
At least we cared about you, damn it.
I said what I said.
What's that talking about?
I don't fucking know.
Kilo. Felicia,
She's awake. She's awake.
we can't let you up. Okay.
She's awake. Hold on. Kilo, you passed out on live, honey.
I know.
We
Okay.
was worried for you.
We just want to make sure, Bill. Yeah, I'm fine, babies.
Okay.
End your life, honey.
You saw what?
You want to
You're live right now.
I know, yo. I know I'm live right now. I know that it's for the people that actually want to speak. I went live for actually people that aren't in it that want to speak to give their opinion on how they feel.
Yeah, I do not remember this.
You're half asleep.
That should be in here.
you wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, and I think it's time to end your life because you really need sleep. You just had a long day. Yes.
We tried to help you. We tried,
I
Kilo.
know you're Eastern time, so just end it for tonight.
I mean, she can sleep stream it, but she ain't gonna be able to hear anything that the other people say.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, well, let's drop out. Let her get back to it then.
Okay. Good night, Kilo. Good night, Kilo.
Good night.
Wait, this is where Kilo gets soppy with us. Just listen. She's like, oh, they came and care about me.
I love them. They were watching out for my house. And I love that.
I don't remember none of it.
Well, you funny as fuck, baby.
Oh my god!
I was a little confused too when I watched the replay.
Dalton.
Yeah.
Andrew said that Lovely's asleep.
Okay, I'll drop her out. Oh Lord, yeah. And then you went back to sleep, Kilo, for an hour. What was you thinking? What was your mind? Like,
I don't even know.
I don't even know either. I'm just sitting there like, oh shit.
I don't even remember talking to you.
Like that was like I told you. I said what I said. I said what I said. Okay, we weren't talking about that. You're live sleep streaming.
I don't remember none of it.
And she said, "I just love you. You can't care about me." Like, go to sleep, girl.
When I tell y'all I be tired, I be tired.
It was great. It really was.
I just had to see it when I got off work. Oh, I
I
was
told
gonna
you, I was like, yo, replay comes to me. Because, like, I told her one day when I came in, I said, you might need to turn your replays off. I said, like, if you just randomly out of mom one day, they're going to see your live back. And she's like, I don't really care. It's these people. And I was like, oh, okay, cool then. So now that she sends them to me, it's fucking fabulous. Because now I can save them bitches and be like, oh, you remember this day, Kilo?
Have you done anything like this growing up in your dream? Yes, when I was younger, I got a story time for y'all. We watched this Western movie, right? Before I went to bed. And my aunt, I've had animosity towards my aunt since I was youngin'. But I sat up from sleeping position, eyes wide open, did some finger pew pews and said, "Bang bang, gangsta, you dead."
You know what I do? Well, I don't do it as much anymore. So I have what is called it's sleep paralysis. But it's not like what y'all think. I think that's what it's called. It's where you have like you're like almost paralyzed in your sleep dreams, and then my body will lock up, and then all of a sudden I will jump, and I don't know how I do it, but my body will like tense up, and then all of a sudden I'll like jump, and my wife, I
got that too. I can't lie.
That
when first
too.
time she ever seen it happen to me, she's like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" But when I tell you that I have jumped myself off the bed many times, I have jumped myself off the bed many times, and she just looks at me like, "You good?" No, I'm not. I thought I just fell and hit the ground. But and I did like in your dream, you're dreaming about like falling sometimes, and like, but I jump in it, and then I hit the floor, and I'm like, damn.
Kilo, I can't even get on your ass for talking in your sleep because I talk a lot.
No, it's
I
not even
remember.
that. Like I will sleepwalk. My eyes will be wide open. This is how my family knows if I'm sleepwalking or I'm actually awake. I will always have my phone in my hand if I'm awake.
Yeah, I've never sleepwalked. I've watched people because Selena Spooky Boo. I love watching her when does her skits, but
Sorry.
I have literally got myself out of bed, went and made me cereal, and passed out at the table mid eating.
Yeah, I've done that. I've poured me a
I've done
drink in
that
my
mid
sleep,
eating.
and
Yeah,
I
like
won't even drink it. Like I'll just pour the drink, sit it down, and go back to my bed.
I've done that though. Literally, I go and give me something to eat in the middle of the night sometimes. Well, a lot of nights actually, because I like my sugar drop. So I'll go out there and I've literally passed out at the table. Wake up like 20, 30 minutes later. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's wild. I thought y'all were making it up. That's why I'm like, let me see it.
Right. No. Like,
Those sleep dreams. I
here's,
did the same thing with that, but I was laying on the bed, and when I did it, I like hopped and I hit the wall, and I broke the thing off the plug thing on the wall, and I had a big old bruise on my leg and stuff.
Jesus.
I don't even. What was I dreaming about last night?
You
Oh,
had to be dreaming about you.
I remember I got in an argument with my mom before I went live yesterday. Right?
Yeah.
I told her, and I was like, I don't care what you say. I said what I said. That's what happened.
Now, y'all ever been so tired you passed out in your car before?
Yeah, I did
There
it.
was,
Did it this morning.
there was one night. So back when I was 24, I was working in Anniston, Alabama, and I worked at the Moves. It was one of my little jobs, and it's a bar. And we didn't get out there until like 5:30 in the morning, and I would get there usually like I don't know 6:30 at night because we had to get everything ready by 7. So we get there about 6:30 and we start everything up. And at the end of the shift, you get your little one free little drink, and then you get to wait a few minutes to go home and stuff, so you don't have to worry or they'll call a taxi if you want to continue sitting there drinking. Well, I didn't ever drink. I always just Bob Marley. So I got home and I was really exhausted because the night before that, a lady called out sick, so I had to run pretty much the night before, get up that morning, deal with stuff that I was dealing with all day long, and then go back to work. So I had no sleep. So I was in the middle of Bob Marley, and I literally, all I remember is I pulled up to my dad's house. I had the heat on because it was the winter time, and I was Bob Marley outside. And I crashed out in the car, and the next thing I woke up, it was sunlight out. Literally, my car was still running. My dad hadn't woke up yet. I think it was like 8 o'clock when I finally woke up. But yeah, sunlight was out by that time. But yeah, I passed out in my car. I've done that before.
You know, I did that. I did that here recently, where I was at a gas station, right, and I was like, I'm just gonna sit here and relax before I get out in this cold ass weather. This was this past winter, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna enjoy the heat. I'm gonna set my seat back and just relax. Keep in mind, I worked a 16.
You know, notifications. I've never had a garage in my daddy had one, but I wasn't allowed to park in his garage because he had two cars in his garage and a motorcycle. So he had a big he just moved recently because he was dog stuff. He wanted to get his own land, so he finally got his own land and stuff, which is amazing. He's got a fishing area, but I never could park in the garage. That was one thing I wanted to, because I had I don't know if y'all remember this or not, but there was a Spider, not the Eclipse, but the Spider Mustang. It was a limited edition one, and if you look up there, I had the red one, and my wife hated it because she hit her head in it. I'd go over speed bumps, and if she was sitting in the back seat with people, she would hit her head, like literally out of nowhere. And she's the only one that would do it. Nobody else ever hit her head in the back seat, but her little ass would fly the fuck up and hit it. She told me my car was cursed. So I had that car and I loved it. Like, I would literally put a tarp over it when it got bad weather, because we live in Alabama, and like certain storm seasons, we have like tornadoes. So I'd put a tarp over it and stuff like that. But yeah, I never had a garage up until this one. And what I do is I have my tail end out of the car, or out of the garage, just barely. And I'll have like, if I turn the heat on for a minute, I'll sit here and the car won't be running. Like, if y'all notice, I'll just use my battery because I got a free battery. But I will turn it on like late at night for a few minutes with the garage open, because the fumes are going out, and I'm just keeping myself warm for a second. But I won't last too long. I know of carbon monoxide poisoning, so let's call it, I know how that is. You gotta be very careful on that.
But
Yeah.
so, back to finish my story, I was like, I'm gonna recline my seat back just a minute, turn the heat on because I was freezing. Next thing you know, 4.5 hours later, I had people do. The fuck?
I will say this. See,
But
Florida man.
it was chill though, because it was the employee. He was one of my friends. He knew me from streaming, right? TikTok local, whatever. And he was like, "Key, are you good?" Because that's what he called me. And I was like, "Huh?" He goes, "Did you work long hours today?" Yeah. He was like, "Okay, take a nap." And he was like, "What are you getting from here?" I said, "Some gas and something to drink." He's like, "Here, let me put some money in. Let me go do this for you. Like, let's do this." And I was just like, he's like, "You don't gotta get out." I'm like, okay. I'm talking about, he took my card. This is how much I trusted him. He took my bank card, knew exactly what I got to drink and how much I typically put in my tank. And he brought everything back and just let me sleep.
Damn. So let me tell you about a story what happened to me one time, which my wife was on the phone with me. So this dude named Florida Man, he doesn't like me and stuff, which is fine, but he tries to tell everybody that I was not in a tornado. I really was in a fucking tornado. So I lived in Jacksonville, Alabama, and we had a tornado. We had three come through, but we had one tornado that was the most destructive, that took over 60% of the town out. It took the college out, and it took alumni houses out, a lot of things. So me and my mother and my youngest, or my oldest son now, at the time he was my youngest kid, Shannon, we was in the house. He was about a year and a half old at this point, and a tornado was coming straight for us, and the first one missed us. So me and my mom, as we're literally barely missed by the first one, our thought was, we need to get out. We need to get out of the house, like, right now. So we got out of the house and we left. And when we was pulling out, we backed up, because the way our road was, it was like a four-way little driveway section area. And we pulled up, and when we pulled back out, the power lines were down on the ground already at this point. So when I backed up over the power lines, I was scared at that point. I didn't know what to do, to go straight and get them wrapped around my tire or whatever. So the church people that was right across the street from us, seeing what happened, they's like, come on right now, there's another one coming. So we just left the car right in the middle of the fucking road. We didn't give a fuck. So we ended up going into the bottom of the church, and I was sitting there, I was panicking. Nobody could get in touch with me because we lost service at this time. Towers was down from the first tornado. Powers was off. So the second tornado came through, and when it came through, it took the back of my house off. A tree came through exactly the middle of my house where me and my mother was at during the first tornado, which thank God we got out when we did. And then it took a car in the back of the house. Like we had an old red car that my mom had in the back of the yard. It pulled it up in two trees out of the backyard and took my neighbor's house completely out. So they finally rebuilt the house and sold it off. But I won't forget that. Like, they had to rebuild the baseball field, which was right across the street from us. They had to build the store that was there, what was called Star Mart. They had to rebuild all of the little places down there, which FEMA came in, and they had trailers, but they didn't give the people that lost their homes really trailers. They only gave like 5 or 6 out, and then the rest of them, they ended up packing up and moving further down south where it got worse. But yeah, they had a retreat event come through where the Alabama band came. We had, I don't remember who else. Scotty McCreery. We had him there. He sung for us. A bunch of people came in. They sung. They raised money, and they rebuilt the school first, and then they rebuilt slowly the town as they were coming back. Which now the town looks really beautiful again. But I remember seeing it, how bad it was destructive, and just like living there most of your life, and you're driving down and you're seeing that like houses gone that you've seen for like your whole life, and illuminati houses that's been there since like the 1800s. It was really crazy, and I'm telling you, where we lived at, it was not made for tornadoes because we lived between two mountains, but we was a little distance away. Like we had a good few miles between the two mountain peaks. And just the way it traveled, it turned just the right way and went between the mountains and came through. And that's how it got Jacksonville. But you can look it up, actually. You can look up the Jacksonville tornado. That shit, that was bad, y'all.
I'm like, I didn't believe I really said that. Like, this is that. I thought like I was through that phase of my life. Like, it just went away. If I'm ever sleeping like that, y'all, just leave me be. Or y'all gonna get a piece of what Kilo really be saying. With no filter.
Nah, baby, you gonna say, I said what I said.
I really be having an attitude. Y'all get the nice side of me. Y'all don't get to see the villain side too much. Everybody on tea time, hello.
I'm here.
Everybody, they on the back end texting. I'm lucky I ain't been hit with tornadoes, but we had one heading our way not too long ago.
I don't get tornadoes down here.
Well, I live in the Ohio Valley.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all know I was on The Walking Dead as a zombie extra?
You said what?
Yeah, you want to see it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got you. Don't make fun of me, Nia. I did my best. But look, the reason I was looking down is the person beside me. Okay, behind the dude, that's the two dudes in front of me. If you look where my hair is to the right, that head right there, that's kind of like half and half. He's almost tripped me like 4 times. So at that point, I fell one time in a ditch. I did. I was fucking mad at myself. Then I got up, and I had at that point I was looking down, trying to keep my feet from not stumbling over other people. Because if we would have stumbled and made everybody fall in that cut, we would have been fired. So I was like, "Oh hell no, I'm not about to lose my ass." But yeah,
Seeing how they run together, is that really hard? Do
it's
they get tripped up a
so
lot?
hard, and a lot of them's edited in. There's only about 30 people there, so when you see hundreds and hundreds, there's really only 30 people there. The worst part about it, and I'm gonna tell you the god honest truth about this, is the makeup and the heat. When I tell you it itched and like your neck would itch, and if you scratched it off, any of the fake like zombie bites, anything like you had to have on there in certain spots, oh, they would get so mad because it
Now
took
you know how it is to be a girl in the summer, cause
yeah, I can imagine. Look, I sat there and they have like little picks, like little, like it almost look as a toothpick, but the longer, skewer ones. You would have them to itch your neck with, like in certain areas, so you didn't mess.
Ugh.
Yeah. And the best part though is we got to eat a lot of fruit roll-ups. So when they show you the scenes of like the neck pulls, that's actually stretched fruit roll-ups that they dye in 2 different colors.
Really?
Yeah, and it's fake blood. The fake blood don't taste
Wow.
good, but they do have some of them that actually like they'll make some juices with that look just like blood. Sometimes you'll get like a grape juice with like a little bit like they'll put some dyes in it to make it like almost turn to the blood color. But yeah, and it's not. It don't really taste that bad. But I tell you, fake blood in your mouth is not fun. That stuff's nasty.
Ew.
Nasty. It is. Even Halloween time, just doing it for makeup, it's nasty. But yeah, that was fun for real. I enjoyed myself. Like we got to eat with the cast, and the only thing that really made me mad was is Norman's not as nice as you take him. Okay, the one that rides the motorcycle. He he really has this like edgy approach to him. Like you can like when you're on scene with him, he's fine, but off scenes, he's like leave me alone. Like if you don't,
Ew.
I will snap on you. And I watched him snap on a couple people. Like yeah, Daryl. Yeah, he definitely will tell you to leave him alone if he don't want to be bothered. I've seen that. I've seen that. Now, if you ever get to go, you guys, to Georgia, you need to go to the town where they filmed at, because not only in that town, at the little town center part where they have the restaurants and stuff, Sweet Home Alabama was filmed there. Me and my wife went there and I took her and we kissed there at the marking. They also filmed
What was y'all's first kiss?
our first kiss was, where was we at? We was in the bathroom, the hotel room, and we had our friend Tabby stalk us, but I can't remember which trip because we went a lot of places. When I say we went to Gatlinburg, Florida,
You said
Tennessee,
New Orleans.
yeah, we went to New Orleans. I don't say it like everybody else. I know I say NOLA most time because they get mad at me for the way I pronounce it. But you know what? I go there and bug the shit out of them. I went my whole life to Mardi Gras because my birthday's February 25th. So,
Y'all, me and my ex's first kiss was in the trunk.
was it New Orleans on the street? I thought it was the bathroom.
No. He tried to
How
kiss
you
me
not
like
gonna
3 times
remember
that
that,
day, and I
donkey?
kept getting daggers shot at me. And then
We
finally I did it on the street.
we was with a friend that was madly in love with me. But she didn't understand I didn't want her. But I literally I put her in friend zone from the beginning. I told her I said it'll never be that way. I said I respect you and I want to be friends with you because I love your vibe, I love your personality, but just friends. And she said okay. And she told him she said the only reason I put him in a friendship bubble was because he said that we would never have a chance. Well, no, my heart was set on Sky that time. You knew this. So
Period.
he watched us. Okay, Me and Sky laid on the bed. This is how bad she was. We laid on the bed. We had our backs turned. I wasn't doing nothing but literally laying there, and Sky was rubbing my arm, and she rubbed across my chest right here on the top of it. And Tabby was looking in a microwave and said, "I see that," and she had her back to us. And we
You're
was
so
back.
backwards.
She was looking
Uh-uh.
at y'all.
Yes, there's a
You're so
microwave.
backwards. You were rubbing my face.
Oh, I was rubbing your face.
Dalton,
No,
can you please remember all this? Why your wife remember everything and you don't?
look, she was rubbing me too, but I did rub her face. That is right. I did. But no, seriously, we wasn't doing anything inappropriate. There was no badness. There was nothing wrong with it. We literally was just sitting there, and Tabby made it out like we was doing something. But the fact that you had your back turned to us, we had our back turned to you, and you watched us through the corner of the window. See that?
I saw that.
Hmm.
We both rolled over and looked at her like, what the hell?
I will tell y'all straight up, my wife does remember the stories better than me. I can concept them now, but she will tell them better than me because there was a lot of bad trauma for me at
Okay,
that time.
so real story of the first kiss. Um, we met up in New Orleans in 2020 for his birthday, actually. It was our first meeting, like in person. And yeah, no, he tried to kiss me like 3 times prior.
Yeah.
And I shied away the first 2 times. And then the third time, oh man, I like if my head could have exploded, the daggers that were being shot my way would have exploded
From
my head.
Tabby. From
Oh,
Tabby.
baby.
Tabby was so stupid.
And so we get down to Bourbon Street and we're walking around, we're doing something, whatever, and we hit a side street because we're like, all right, let's sit down and rest. We've been walking for a while, and we were sitting on the steps, and he had made the comment like, you know, motherfucker, I've been trying all day, and it was funny because I ran up and I kissed him, and then I ran away.
Yeah. And it wasn't like,
Same
it
thing.
made me
I
more
do
mad.
the same
It made me
thing.
more mad because it was like, it wasn't like, I got the kiss, but it wasn't the kiss I wanted. So like, you can't just fucking run away from me like that. Come back here.
Yeah, and then he chased after me, and then we went around a
Okay.
corner, so we had some private time
Yeah, and then
for like 2.5 seconds before all of a sudden we were being stared at again.
but it was so
Dalton, but
bad.
girls be shy sometimes. So at least she came and kissed you.
Okay, so I want to say this because I'm not shy, but I'm going to be respectful towards my wife when saying this. So, the first time that we ever had an intimacy moment, and you know what I mean by that, I'm going to be respectful here though. So, we we've been on trips with this girl that watched us through the microwave and, you know, made us feel really weird on New Orleans and would always make her comments and she tried to break my friendships up with everybody because she wanted me, but she couldn't handle the fact that I didn't want her. And it would get so bad that like me and Sky would walk out of the room at trips just to get 5 minutes alone, and she'd be calling me, asking me, "Where are you at? Where'd you go?" While she's got people in the room. So me and Sky walked in the bathroom and finally went, "Fuck it, if we can't even leave the hotel for 5 minutes or down the steps of the hotel for 5 fucking minutes, fuck it, we'll go to the bathroom and talk." And that was all it was going to be. So she's literally setting up on the sink and or was it me? Was it me or you? Was you sitting on the sink or was I?
Sitting on the sink because I kicked the
Okay,
toilet.
okay, that's right. Okay, so she was sitting on the sink, and what we were sitting there, and we was literally, I was sitting on the commode, and where she was facing, her foot like could hit the back of the commode. So I'm sitting there, and we're talking, and we're literally just having a great conversation. You know, just me and her getting to know each other a little better. You know, we're talking about, you know, our feelings for each other and things like that. And all of a sudden, she turns her body, and when she turns her body, her foot slips out, and she kicks the commode. And as soon as she did, Tabby started making comments about us having inappropriate moments in there when we wasn't, and she kept going and going on about it to the point that she tried to come look under the bathroom door. So
She looked under the door.
yeah, when I was showering one time, she looked under the bathroom door.
God, you should have punched that. I'm
So,
sorry.
so at this point, I said, "Fuck it." I said, "If she's going to accuse us, she's going to keep doing this every trip." I said, "I'm about to show her who I can be." I said, "I would never disrespect anybody, never do that in front of anybody in the room. I'm more respectful than that. But you gonna say I am and make the awful comments you're doing and trying to watch me under the door, then I'm gonna let you hear something in a minute." So I used my mouth. That's all I'm saying. And we had our moment, and I came out, and she was so fucking pissed. I said, "Well, don't fucking push me to that point because you disrespected me. I didn't come here to disrespect
It
you."
wasn't even just that. She kept pacing.
Yeah, she kept pacing by the bathroom door. So we turned on the water and everything. I'm like, "Fuck this! If you're gonna push me to that point, fuck it." So it was so bad though. Like this wasn't just the one trip. This would have been like we already been on like 7 trips, 8 trips at this point.
I
Like,
think that was number 3.
no, I'm not talking about me and you. I'm talking about
Oh,
with
yeah, in general.
yeah, with General was having them because I met them way before you. So this is like 7 trips with them, and this is the third with you. And the first 2 times I never really got to spend time with you. So the third time I was just trying to get to know you better, and she didn't want that.
That time was in the haunted hotel.
Yep. And yeah, we stayed in a Victorian Mansion hotel. That was they turned into it was a Victorian mansion, but they
Oh,
made it
so
into.
pretty.
It was so beautiful, snow and everything. It was so cool. But she would message me and she would talk so bad about Sky and this other woman that we won't talk about. But it would be so funny. Me and Sky would be on the phone. I'd be like, Tabby's talking shit about you, and she's like, "Watch this. I'm gonna message Tabby something. It's gonna be bullshit, and let's see how quick it gets back to you." No longer than the second that Sky sent it, she's messaging me exactly what Sky's saying, trying to say, "See, look what Sky's doing to you. Look what Sky's doing. You don't deserve her. You should see. This is why I told you she's not going to be the one for you." I said, "Tabby, you said you're her best friend for years now, and now you're trying to flip this picture." That's what she'd do. She would take everything someone would say and run back to the next person, flip.
Did her and Sky know each other before? Or
We all, I knew them, and I brought Sky in, so we was friends for a while, and we was real close friends. Like I said, we did meetups.
Sky met them through you, right?
Yeah, Sky met them through me, and when I brought Sky in, they all knew I loved Sky from the start, and everyone knew that. When I met Sky, Sky skipped past me for a week. True story. She skipped past me for a week. She said, "Who
I
is
just
this
met
chick?"
Sky yesterday, and I love Sky. So I
Yeah,
was
Look. Okay, so so on my end of it, he kept popping up on my For You page, and I kept swiping by him, and I ended up going up to see my sister because we have, well, my best friend. We have our birthdays are 5 days apart, and we always spent our birthdays together. And she had to work, so I was at her house, bored, and he was live, and he had popped up on my For You page again. So I went in, but I had skipped past him for like a week,
yeah,
and that's
yeah,
kind of like how we met.
yeah. So,
That was God telling you that's who you
well,
needed.
when I first met her, let me tell you all the truth here, okay? They would tease me because my weakness is blue eyes. It is. My weakness is blue eyes. And my goal was to meet someone and have a blue eye child, which, our child could keep blue eyes. But oh well. So she had this beautiful blue eyes. When I met her, her hair was beautiful blonde, and I had this fiery red hair. So I don't know. I just every time I see her, I'm just like, oh my god, she's a goddess. She's so beautiful. Like every time I would see her. So I would make videos, and we would duet each other. We started getting closer, so we'd duet stuff like that. We did all kind of competitions together. Like I'm talking about when she first met me, though. I was going through a very bad time. I was not wanting to be in a relationship with nobody. I was in a almost poly stance. Like I just wanted to have a little fun because my son was missing. True story. My son was missing. I was really bad hurt because I was cheated on at that point, and I just didn't believe in love no more. I was like, "Fuck love," like no, I'm just gonna have fun now. So when I met her, it was a real hard deal with her and another girl, and there was a lot of jealousy and animosity there, which there was kind of at first triangle, but it wasn't, but it was still considered a triangle, and it went south. So we started, what got everybody close to me is we started making a petition to raise money to get a lawyer to find my son, which was hiring a private investigator. When I tell you I spent $5,000 on a private investigator to find my son, I spent $5,000. So we ended up, after a year and a half, we found my son. We went to court. We got rights. But I was making T-shirts at this time. I was selling hoodies. People were supporting it. We had team Levi's shirts, all kind of stuff. So we found my son. We went to court, and that's why I get so mad when people talk about it because they don't know the truth. They don't know what actually happened there. I'm just glad that me and the mother of my child are better today. We co-parent amazingly. We don't fight. There's no animosity. They try to reach out, say whatever, but she's not going to really let them pull no strings. Our child's more important than some bullshit that's on the internet. So through all of this, I am. How can I use this? Fireball. You know what I'm talking about? Fireball is. Do y'all know what that is?
Oh.
Okay. So two bottles every day. I was putting that down the hatchet, and I went and I met up with this person that I won't say his name, but I was very, very best friends with this guy. That like I would have done anything for this dude. I would have been like I went on his birthday and spent $2,600 on him. Took him to the mall shopping, bought him clothes, bought him jewelry, bought him a birthday cake, paid for his birthday party, took him clubbing, everything. And he just did me so dirty. Tried to get with every girl I was with. I took him to Glow Rages. One of these girls I was talking to, he ended up sticking her hand down his pants and they kissed in front of me. It was fucked up, y'all. It was fucked up. So I went live. I'm pissed off. Everybody's trying to get me to calm down and not fight at this point and go off. So during this time, I got locked in a basement for a week. True story. I didn't lie about that shit when I tell y'all. And when I got out of there, it was so bad that, like, I broke the fucking window to get out. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I did. So I broke out of there, tried to fix myself. I ended up getting so bad, messed up on Fireball that I passed out behind a store. While my car's parked at the store, I'm behind the store. They're trying to wake me up while I'm on live. They couldn't wake me up at all. I was gone to the world. They're screaming at me. They're like, wake the fuck up, Dalton. This isn't okay. Are you okay? I wasn't okay. So I went back. They told me to leave, and I didn't. So a day and a half later, I ended up getting in a fight with this person again. And I left, and they come on my live, and I was in my car at this time, and I was going down the road, and they said the wrong comment to me. They just said the wrong fucked up comment because I already talked about how depressed I was at the house. They was like, don't just play it, just do it then. So I turned my car into an 18-wheeler. I did. Luckily, I'm here. Well, after that, about a week and a half later, I was just over everything. I was like, this is a crazy world that I'm in. I don't want to be here no more. Like everything was in my mind. So I took a pew and it lodged, thank God again. And people witnessed that on live. And that was the second time. And I finally got help. I talked to the doctors and stuff and got help and got on some medication for a little bit of time. And when I tell you it, you don't know what people's went through. You don't know what people's went through or how much they grown. I grew from that. I grew so much as a man. I got out of depression. I came back stronger than ever. I got married. I had kids. My life turned around from being homeless and trying to take care of my mom. No offense to my mom, I love her, but I had to take care of my mom for about 10 years now. I'm over it. I'm ready for her to get your wings on and, help yourself. But, I just, it's my mother, I'm not going to put her back in any situation that she doesn't need to be in. So I, last year, brought the worst out in me. I met up with people that I thought was friends and we got close and we went low for low. True story. And I told myself, I don't want to be this person. I wasn't this person. I got really bad last year. I don't have to be this person. It was affecting my marriage. It was affecting my life. It was taking time away from me. Recently I've been on here lately, but y'all know why. It's been real for the last week, whatever. But I tell you, my wife has been there through it all. She has been there through the thick, the thin, the dark, the good, through the ugly, the bad. But I have also shown so many people light. When I tell you when I was in that darkness, I didn't tell y'all about it. I was uplifting people. I was telling myself every day, screaming to myself, you matter, you believe, you're stronger, you're worth it. I was telling everybody I was an inspirational person when people first met me. I would give them hope, tell them quit looking at your skin. It's just a flaw. We age, we crack, we crumble. Your soul is what matters, that voice, that mouth, that brain. And I got out of that last year and I fell from my own wisdom. And I said, no, I'm very wise. I know how to educate myself enough to know what's better or not. So this year I told myself I'm not going to be that low again. I'm not going to be that person because I know I used to give people hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars a week. I used to give people all kind of stuff, and then I got took advantage of. And I said, fuck that. I don't want to do this no more. I'm not going to send every time I get a coin to somebody that just plays right in my face because they know I send that line, the Interstellar. So I quit doing that. But I did. I used to do fundraisers for the homeless. I used to feed the homeless. True story. Crazy Mom, if y'all remember her, we used to feed the homeless. We used to get out there on live streams and do it. I have raised money for a dude that his house caught on fire. We got toys for him and his daughter. When I tell you I've done a lot, I raised money for people overseas. We've did Christmas shoe boxes. We've done a lot. And that's what it should come back to. The world should start thinking of people that has less fortune, stop fighting so much, and do good. And it don't take $1 to do good. It does not. It does not mean you have to have money. But if you have something around your home and you know there's a real good place that you can send it to feed people, send them an extra can of green beans. We have a place up here that will leave a trash bag in our thing that says the food for the homeless and the food for the kids. And you can put cereal in it and whatever. And that way they don't just get knockoff stuff. You can actually give them good stuff to eat. And you put it back in your mailbox. The mail lady picks it back up and they deliver it for them. I like that stuff. So you just don't know. You don't know what people go through. And like I said, once you start seeing which side is not as bad, you can stay wherever you want. But you'll see who's not as bad. And I'm going to tell you again, before I go here, Des, I pray for you. I'm not going to fight you and call you names no more. Rizza, I pray for you. I pray for all the rest of it. Squirrel Mama, kiss my ass. Pray for the rest of y'all, for real. I'm not going to hate on y'all. I'm not going to send y'all negative thoughts to leave my life. My life is going to end from now on with good notes, and it is going to be very positive. Even if the live was bullshit throughout it, listening to it, comments, whatever, we are from now on going to leave this live with a positive mindset, damn it.
I don't think that was the ending to the original story you were talking about.
Well, you can fill in the gaps. I was just, I didn't want to tell him
You don't
everything.
have to tell him everything. It was just like boom, 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 and then all of a sudden we're here.
Well, yeah, because I don't want to give them everything because that's not for them to use. I got concept mind. And I missed 2 years, but there's a reason I didn't put the 2 years in that because that Florida man and people like that. They don't need to know any of that. So I gave them the aspects of seeing the ugly. It wasn't, trying to just be like, it got better and this is what happened at the end. No, there was moments.
Baby's crying.
Because I got work in the morning. It's 2:30 a.m. So I'm gonna head to bed. But I'll see y'all later. Yeah. Good night, y'all.
Good night.
Good night, Sky.
You shut up. I have bad ADD and ADHD. It's a severe case. It's not just normal. When I tell you I'm ooh shiny, I am ooh shiny. Most of the time, if I ain't even on gingerbread right now, I'd be this way looking.
Oh my
Because
god. So my
actually,
funniest ooh shiny moment he has is we were in Gatlinburg and he was making a TikTok about telling him what we were gonna do for our day. And there was this octagon window in our cabin and he had just randomly stood in front of it as he's like, okay guys, well we're gonna be, oh my goodness, have you seen this window? This is such a pretty window.
shut up.
That's my favorite. I love that squirrel. That's why like randomly I'll put in there.
I
You
do.
see this
She gets
window?
mad at me too because I get hyper fixated, and I finally got to understand, like, get her to understand what that is. So if I'm on live and I'm focused in a live where it's bashing me or something, we can be in a grocery store walking, and she knows why I'm listening, just to keep up. But I will be so hyper fixated in it that she can say my name 3 to 4 times, and I never concepted that she said my name once until she says my actual name. I'm like, hold up.
Uh-huh. I have to actually say his name. I'm like, Levi. And he's like, excuse me?
I don't know if I talk in my sleep, but my wife talks in her sleep, and she snores and farts a lot.
I don't know. Normally my ass is passed out, so.
She turns her ass to me and she gasps. It's not nice. It's mean. I hope I gas chamber her too back when I'm asleep because I won't feel bad then. But yeah. Hello.
Hello.
You caught me in my last minute or two here. What's up, Ellie? What's up, Bestie?
Hi. I've been like Lady
And
Gaga in
no,
the
Moose, he's not leaving you. You were late to the party.
Yeah, Moose, you're way late. You're like, let me look. I reset it like 3 times already. Damn it, get your fucking gift gallery bullshit out of here, Jessica. It's me, Jessica. I have been live for an hour and 46 minutes on this live, and we already reset it twice. So, yeah, we've been going for a while. It's time for me to get off, or my wife actually passes the fuck out so we can watch Dead Silent because I really want her to see that. Like, I am so excited. That was one of my favorite movies. Mary Shaw, one
I
of my.
cannot believe I haven't even seen Dead
I'm
Silent.
so sad in that. That's why we're gonna watch it because you have to watch that. Seriously, when that dog comes alive and like Billy is his name. Oh, it's so good. I won't give her any details. Like I didn't spoil the end for her either. I told her my concept of the end because like they leave it open for a part 2 of what happened at the end. So I gave her the concept, but I'm so ready because they're talking about making a second one. Yeah. It's called Dead Silence, and it's got about a ventriloquist woman that was a witch, and she controls puppets, but they're really alive. Like she took in the souls of
It's
people.
from like 2007, and I am a horror fanatic, so I am surprised I've never even seen this. A video actually popped up on my TikTok, and I was like, and I had said something because you haven't seen that.
Don't judge the 4.8 stars. I promise you, just go watch it. It is definitely a good one. I'm gonna tell you a comedy one that I like. It's called Trailer Park of Horror. And this girl, she murks everybody in the trailer park because her mother at the very beginning of it is in a DV situation, but she stayed like she's happy to be in it in this with the sheriff, and they're in this like really hillbilly type trailer park out in the desert, and they're very bad people, like they rob trucks, all kinds of stuff. So when she sees what happens to her mom, they end up when they take her mother right in front of her, like her right in front of her, but it don't show that clip. It skips past it. So this is the very beginning. So Trace Atkins, the singer, he's the devil in it, and as she's trying to leave, she's going to prom with her man, her little boyfriend that she met and stuff, because she's like I think 18 at this time, and he's 18, and she's never been to prom or really been in school much, so they off him in front of her too. So at the very beginning, she makes the deal with the devil to be able to come back. So she goes there and she sets the whole place on fire. She takes care of everybody there, then sets the whole place on fire. Well, every Halloween or every certain day in Halloween, they come back it's like a haunted place that just reappears out of nowhere because it all burnt down, but it comes back like it is. Well, this bus is driving all kind of misfit teenagers. It's driving a Lebanese. I'm gonna say it like that because that's the words they use it. They're driving an atheist. They're driving a Christian. One that's an addict. One that's klepto, which is a thief. Like everybody's on this bus, so they have a flat tire on the road that it has, and they're trying to find somewhere to stay the night. So they start seeing these ghosts, and the ghosts are starting to try to take them off throughout the movie. So each ghost comes back and appears differently. Well, the main girl, she can rip her face off and like reappear, and like it's a comedy one though. So when you see it, you're gonna be like, what the hell? But at the same time, it's gonna make you laugh at certain points. Like there's certain comedy in it, but then there's certain parts that's like, whoa. So it is considered a comedy horror because it's 50-50. But you should definitely check it out. The what? See? The Pokies? What?
Poughkeepsie.
Oh.
I've never seen that either.
I haven't either.
But the sad thing is my husband talks about this movie all the time, and I have still yet to see this movie.
Trailer Park of Terror?
He started it one night. I think we started it, and I fell asleep.
You fell asleep because she was tired, which is okay. She does that in a lot of movies anyways. But she fell asleep in like 3 minutes into it, y'all, so there was no point. But
Yes,
the one
Jason.
The one movie.
Zombievers. If you've never seen Zombievers, it can be as stupid as rubber.
Let me tell you the one movie my wife won't watch because of the fact that I love it, Pet Cemetery. She said that it scares her, and
Nope.
she won't watch Pet Cemetery.
I don't watch it either.
I watched all of them.
I've seen it. I just have not seen any of the other ones.
I watched the original one that they had back in that was like 70s or whatever, and then I watched the one that they had with Gage, and then the newer one that they had with the little girl. Yeah.
That's what I just said, Moose. She said nothing could be as stupid as rubber. And I said, well, Zombiever's pretty damn dumb.
No, you want to know what the most stupid horror movie out there was? The Tire.
Rubber.
No, it's called The Tire. No, I was talking about rubber. Tell you.
Yeah, Zombiever, that's something. I used to go on this kick. We'd go and we'd try and find the most D-rated movies we possibly could. And yeah, that one popped up. That was something.
My bad, not the Tire one. That is called rubber. I'm talking about the one that's the couch. Have y'all seen that one? I had to go look it up. Have y'all seen that one?
The couch?
Yeah. This one.
Killer Soap.
It only scored 38 on Rotten Tomatoes, so obviously it ain't that good.
It has a 3.7 out of 10 and a 38 on tomatoes.
Real movie?
Yeah. You love that movie. How the fuck are you gonna talk about my 5.7 rating when you got a 3.7 and you say you loved it?
I knew Moose was out there a little bit. But y'all,
Alright,
I
guys.
want to
I'm
go watch this
screenshotting
movie.
it and look it up later.
Yeah.
Let's let them go watch this movie before Sky gets tired.
Hey, baby.
Yes.
I'm getting off now, but come talk with me one more time and then we can go in.
I was literally putting on my jacket.
Okay, but that's a lot. Alright, guys. I'm gonna leave y'all with this because I want to leave with a positive note, as I said.
There's another one, kind of like your trailer park of it's the zombie accountants.
I don't think I've seen that.
It's not accountants. It's with a pole.
Well, y'all are zombie tidal wave. That's a stupid one too. Anyway,
Sharknado.
or zombie tsunami or something like that. It was stupid. And then they made shark tornado. God, all that stuff.
Sharknado. Yeah, what Moose said.
Mhm.
Strike
Happy Mother's Day to the rest of you. I know y'all say it's 2:30 and all of that for some of y'all, but it's still 11:38 for me. So I can still tell you this. Happy Mother's Day, and I'm gonna say Happy Mother's Day to the fathers that don't have anyone else but them to help support and raise the babies. Because even though you got a Father's Day, you're still the only one doing it. So you know, root to you. For the rest of you, if you go out here and you find yourself pulling backwards, find something that's gonna guide you forward. So if it's a memory of your past that makes you laugh, go to it. Do not go to sad music. That's a no-go. I tell everybody, if you're depressed or you're getting backwards or you feel let down or anything like that, do not go to sad music and do not go to sad movies. Find your happy ground. Find your place. If you can't do that, then I'm going to be real with you here. There is 988. If you're ever struggling in any crisis, they will talk to you. They don't judge you. They won't put it out any of your business, and they do have resources for you to help you there. For the ones that are more fortunate than others that want to judge people, I hope that your potato salad had raisins in it today and that you find a cockroach in your $1 million mansion But for the rest of you, I hope you have a great night. You don't shit yourself in bed because that would be horrible. I feel like that would be the worst of the night, you know. If you're a hooker out here, at least wash it, you know. Hey, root to you, I guess. If you haven't milked your hamsters, remember it will curdle. If you're moose, wash your ass because I know it smells like moose and them things just stink. So wash your ass and your mouth. Yeah. If you find moose, return it to Dalton. He has to pay a ransom fee of $75,000 per night that I have to keep this damn moose.
I told y'all earlier it's chained under my bed.
But it needs to be returned to me because Moose has already hurt my feelings. Okay, he was trying to give away lathering me up with maple syrup to everybody else, and now I'm jealous. So I'm disappointed that I am not lathery enough for the Lather Club. So I'm disappointed in you, Moose.
There's four. There's four mooses.
There's not 4. Okay, we ate moose meat this week 3 times, so there's only 1 moose.
Well, there's a rug and a couch and.
Yeah, you're not supposed to tell him about that. He'll get his feelings hurt again
He
that they
already
all
knew.
made rugs and couches
He already
and
knew.
a sofa.
He even knows the names of which one's which.
Yeah, it's absolutely horrible. Can't believe you. Did you steal his moose?
Sky, plead the fifth.
No.
As soon as I get off here, I'll ship it to you.
Alright, guys. Peace out, Butter Scouts. Until next time, have a good night. If you're wishing bad on others, then I hope you shit yourself in bed.
You step on a Lego.
Yeah, that's all I can say. That was positive. You're offended. Well, let me tell you something to unoffend you real quick, okay? If a chicken lays an egg out of its ass, but therefore the chicken crosses the road and we don't know what came first, was the chicken or the egg, does it really matter? I don't think it does. So, unfortunately, let me unoffend you, okay? I love you, Moose. Have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be back here to talk shit to you some more tomorrow. Love you all. I'll see y'all back here.
Good night, everyone.
I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be back here to talk shit to you some more tomorrow. Love you all. I'll see y'all back here.
Good night, everyone.